a dusty road in the Egyptian countryside. A young boy, no older than 14, stands at a bus stop as the sun rises. He holds a worn football. In the distance, a rickety bus appears, kicking up clouds of sand. The boy does not smile. He does not complain. He climbs aboard. Behind him, his village of Nagrig fades into the horizon. Nagrig, Egypt, a small village in the Garbia Governorate, where the Nile Delta spreads its green fingers across the desert. In this village, a boy named Mohamed Salah learned a lesson that would shape his life. Nothing worth having comes without a journey. The bus rattles down a potholed road. Inside, the boy sits alone, staring out at the passing date palms. He is the eldest of 4 children. He carries not just his own dream, but the hope of his entire family. The journey was 9 hours, sometimes 10. 5 buses there, 5 buses back. He left at 9 in the morning and returned close to midnight. On that bus, he learned patience. He learned endurance. He learned that the road to greatness is paved not with glory, but with sacrifice. The boy's father, Salah, stands at the bus stop as the sun sets. He waits, every day, every night. He does not complain. He is the engine of this dream. His tired eyes, but also his unshakable belief. His father, Salah, was a government employee who traded jasmine flowers to make ends meet. His mother was a housewife who kept the home together. They were not wealthy. They were not connected, but they were determined. A small apartment in Nagrig. A photograph on the wall. A young Salah in a football shirt, perhaps a player himself once. Now he works long hours, but his passion for the game has been passed down to his son. The father points to a distant stadium. There, he says, that is where you will play someday. The boy nods. He believes, because his father believes. When Mohamed was just 11, his father took him to Cairo to join the Mokawloon club. It was a 90-mile journey each way. The roads were rough, the buses were crowded, and the cost was high. But Salah was determined. He would not let his son fail. Mokawloon's youth academy. A teenage Mohamed trains alongside older boys. He is small, skinny, but his feet are magic. He dribbles past defenders as if they are not there. Coach watches, impressed. The boy is special. At Mokawloon, Mohamed Salah's talent began to bloom. He made his senior debut on May 3, 2010, just 17 years old. He played 5 games that season. The next season, he scored 12 goals. Egypt had seen the spark. Rumors began to circulate in Europe about Mohamed Salah's talent. Europe began to whisper. The boy on the bus, now a teenager, tears in his eyes. He is exhausted. He calls his father, "I don't want to do this anymore." His father's voice is firm but kind. "All great players go through this. You will be great." The boy wipes his tears. He stays on the bus. But the road was not easy. The bus journey was relentless. 5 days a week, 9 hours a day. Sometimes the boy would complain. "I don't want to go," he would say. His father would reply, "All great players go through this." The price for him was very high, but he never gave up. In the summer of 2012, FC Basel, a Swiss professional football club based in Basel, playing in the Swiss Super League, paid a transfer fee of roughly €2.5 million, about $2.59 million or £2 million, to sign Mohamed Salah from Egyptian club Mokawloon, Basel's training ground. A young Salah, now 20, trains with new teammates. He has moved to Europe. The language is strange, the food is different, but the ball is the same. He is finally here. Switzerland was cold, quiet, ordered. The boy from Nagrig, who had spent his childhood riding buses through the desert, now walked the pristine streets of Basel. He did not forget where he came from. A newspaper headline, "Egyptian scores against Chelsea." The image shows Salah celebrating at Stamford Bridge. He has just scored against the English giants in the Champions League. The boy who rode the buses is making the world take notice. At Basel, Salah announced himself to Europe. In the 2013-14 Champions League, he scored against Chelsea twice. Once at Stamford Bridge, once in Basel. His speed, his dribbling, his composure in front of goal, all on display for the world to see. In January 2014, Chelsea paid FC Basel approximately £11 million to sign Mohamed Salah. A montage of bench shots. Salah sits on the sidelines, waiting. He plays only 13 games in 2 seasons. The manager does not trust him. The critics call him a flop. He is loaned to Fiorentina, then to Roma. He is searching for a home. In Rome, 2016, Roma paid Chelsea a permanent transfer fee of €15 million. In the Stadio Olimpico, Mohamed Salah, now in Roma's maroon shirt, dribbles past 3 defenders and scores. The crowd roars. His wife, Magi, watches from the stands, holding their young daughter Maka. She is his anchor, his constant. At AC Roma, Mohamed Salah was reborn. He became a star, a leader, a fan favorite. In the 2015-2016 season, he scored 14 goals. In 2016-2017, he added 15 more. He was named in the Serie A Team of the Year. The boy who had been written off was now being celebrated. Through it all, his wife Magi Sadek stood by him. They had met as children in Nagrig, attended the same school, fallen in love. She married him in 2013, before the money, before the fame. She has been his constant, his peace, his home. In 2017, Liverpool paid a club record fee, €42 million, or £36.9 million, for Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah signs his contract at Anfield. He holds up the number 11 shirt. Behind him, a photograph of the Kop, the legendary stand where dreams are made and broken. The weight of expectation was immense. The boy from Nagrig, who had spent his childhood riding buses, was now the most expensive signing in Liverpool's history. He is not afraid. He is ready. In his first season, Salah scored 44 goals in all competitions. In the 2017-2018 season, Mohamed Salah scored 32 league goals, beating Cristiano Ronaldo's record for most goals in a 38-game Premier League season. He won the Premier League Golden Boot, the PFA Player of the Year, the FWA Footballer of the Year. He was quite simply unstoppable. But there was heartbreak too. The 2018 Champions League final. Sergio Ramos's challenge. A dislocated shoulder. Salah left the pitch in tears. Liverpool lost 3-1 to Real Madrid. The dream that night was broken. In 2019, during the Champions League final, Salah scored a penalty. Liverpool won 2-0 against Tottenham Hotspur. The boy who had ridden the buses, who had been rejected by Chelsea, who had been written off by Mourinho, was now a champion of Europe. To his father, who had waited for him at the bus stop every night. To his mother, who had kept the home together. To his wife, who had believed in him before the world knew his name. The years that followed were filled with trophies. The Premier League title in 2020, Liverpool's first in 30 years. The FA Cup, the League Cup, the Super Cup, the Club World Cup. Mohamed Salah became the greatest African goalscorer in Premier League history. He passed Didier Drogba's record. He became the king of Egypt. For Egypt, Mohamed Salah is more than a footballer. He is a captain, a hero, a boy who grew up riding buses and now carries the hopes of 100 million people on his shoulders. He has played in 3 Africa Cup of Nations tournaments. Twice he reached the final, in 2019 and 2023. He gave his heart every time. On January 10, 2026, Salah scored against Ivory Coast in the AFCON quarterfinals. That goal made him the first and only African player to score against 11 different nations in the tournament's history. And on October 8, 2025, He scored 2 goals in Djibouti to send Egypt to the 2026 World Cup. With that brace, he became the all-time top scorer in African World Cup qualifying with 20 goals. He surpassed legends like Didier Drogba and Samuel Eto'o. The boy from Nagrig had done it again, and his father was watching. He was always watching. After 9 years, 313 games, and 191 goals, a chapter was closing. He had won the Premier League, the Champions League, the FA Cup. He had become the club's highest-scoring African player. But now it was time to say goodbye. At his farewell event, Mohamed Salah said, "I gave everything. The club gave me everything. But every story has its last page." The rumors began. AS Roma, the club where he had become a star, where he had first found his feet in Italy. The Eternal City was calling its king home. Nothing was confirmed, but the possibility was beautiful. The decision, as always, would be made together. The family around the table. "Wherever you go, we go," Magi said. "We started this journey together. We will finish it together." It was not a business decision. It was a family decision. It always had been. The boy who rode the buses became the king who never forgot. Every trophy, every goal, every smile, it was for them, for Nagrig, for Egypt. And one day, when the stadiums had grown quiet and the cheers had faded, Mohamed Salah returned to where it all began. His father had waited for him every night. Now he could rest. This was not a goal for Liverpool or Egypt. This was a goal for every child who ever took a bus to chase a dream. For the boy who rode the buses. For the father who waited. For the mother who believed. For the wife who stayed. For Egypt. Some journeys never end. They just find new roads. This has been Career Footsteps. Subscribe for more journeys.